welcome to episode 5 of Achievement Unlocked. Rejoining me today are Alex and Katrina.
Somehow we didn't have episode 4 blocked for some reason.
Let's just not talk about episode 4.
Alright, I'm just messing with you.
I feel like at this point on Fridays we're going to be a man down. Because Isaiah refuses to enter the building.
I mean, or we could just have like the occasional random guest if they happen to want to join or something.
I think we know our core 3, and then the interchangeable on my man we can just kick off onto the street.
Like a man off the street, but yeah.
He does look like a hobo.
He
He looks like a street drug dealer.
That is terrible.
We're not even a minute in, and this is already what's happening. Okay.
I mean, we spent last episode making fun of how he looked too. We called him Jay from Jay and Silent Bob.
Yeah.
We called him Jude from 16.
Jude.
And then at the end, I called him TK from Angel Beats, and we started talking about that.
Nice.
Yeah.
That sounds like such a fake laugh. Meanwhile, I know it's just you don't have energy.
Yeah, I'm like...
Let's not talk about anime.
I'm like a combination of like really like tired, but also like fatigued because my stomach is still hurting. So I'm just sitting here like, well.
I don't think it helps that we did Undertale impressions for 6 hours.
I mean, you did most of them, but I did like a couple of them because for some reason I have a really good Alphys and Muffet. I'm surprised I didn't have good ones.
I feel like it helps that a female does the female voices.
Just.
I don't. I wasn't there for when you guys were doing the voices, so I can't.
You missed today's session. It got wild.
You want to hear one? You want to hear one, Katrina?
Sure. Go
Okay.
ahead.
All right, give me a second.
She needs to embody her inner lizard.
Oh my god. It's a real human. Hi, I'm Elphys. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to make this weird.
Let's hear your Alphys, Katrina.
I'm sorry.
I've never done. I don't know what.
It's
like
okay.
You have to give me something in order for me to do a voice. Give me a personality of
She's
the character.
She's like a really
Shy, nervous, timid scientist. Go.
Shy, nervous, timid scientist?
Go for it.
who likes anime, yes.
Okay.
So you in like 20 years.
I'm not gonna be a scientist.
But you're smart.
Debatable.
I'm trying not to sound like a dick, okay?
We're gonna have to censor that one out.
No, don't. I'm trying not to sound like a jackass. Just like, come on. Yeah, fine. Moving on.
Yeah.
You guys are making me have to be the villain.
I'm shy.
What do you mean we have to make you be the villain?
Oh, I know about that one, bud.
Yeah.
I keep on going the way I am. I'm gonna have a bad time.
Ow, I hit the mic already. I'm sorry.
Yeah. So, you want me to do the voice?
No.
You don't have to if you don't want to.
I feel like we've ruined it. We're 3 minutes in. We've already burned out our first topic.
What do you mean we already burned it out?
I feel like we wrote it into the ground. We immediately tried to do the voices, and then we just hit a brick wall with them. Anyway, for this will be audio only, so no one's gonna see us like turning to look at each other awkwardly.
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
Which is why in this episode, whenever it gets awkward silence, so just hear this.
Just Temmie in the corner being like,
I'm Timmy.
Hi.
I'm Timmy. I need money to go to college.
She's looking at us like we're insane people.
Is that one that I saw you guys doing
yeah.
the last time?
Yeah, last week, like a little bit before we did like, I want to say the 3rd episode now? Before we did the 3rd episode.
Give me a line that
Last
she
Friday.
says.
Hi, I'm Timmy. I need money for college.
I need money for college. You want Timmy flakes?
Hi, I'm Timmy. I need money for college.
You're trying so hard, and it shows.
That's like a Temmie, like his first day on the job. It's like,
Hi, I'm Timmy. Please don't be mad at me. I just want Timmy flakes. Help me.
Funny enough, you sound like Alphys trying to sound like a Timmy.
okay, fair.
So inadvertently, it worked.
Yeah. I mean, this just goes to show, like, Undertale is one of my top 10 games because it has so many iconic characters.
Like I'm letting you play through it for the first time on my Xbox, and then anytime a track comes up, I immediately start humming it because I know every single soundtrack on the game.
I had to stop like a total of at least 2 or 3 times because the track was that good.
I think it's the best game soundtrack in my opinion. There's some real good ones, but no other game soundtrack have I been able to know by heart and hum every single track.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways,
I feel like it, yeah.
Moving on to our first big topic of the day. Console wars, the original OG2 consoles in their war, Nintendo versus Sega. I guess we're thinking more of the companies now, but
I feel like both of these are like good for their own reasons, just because of like specific brands that go with them, like Mario and Sonic.
Yeah, I feel like they each have their icons. Mario and Sonic being like the faces of both, and then both franchises having other good games under them.
Like another one that is major for Nintendo is Pokemon.
Yeah, that's the big ones. If you're to, it is a big one, but I feel like if you're to ask someone the big three Nintendo, they would say Mario, Link, Samus.
Mm-hmm.
So clearly you're for Nintendo over Sega then.
Well, I mostly play Nintendo, so yeah.
I grew up mostly playing the Mario and Sonic games, but what I found interesting is, like, the first time I played one of the Sonic games, because there's a PS2, right, and there's this game called, like, the Sonic Mega Collection Plus, which is a lot of the Sonic games they have for the Genesis, like Sonic's 1, 2, 3, Sonic and Knuckles, 2 different versions, by the way, 3D Blast, Pinball, a lot of those, but I feel like Sonic had, like, this weird platform mechanic where you were able to just, like, go all over the place. It wasn't just left or right like Mario Bros. Was. You get what I mean?
Yeah, even the old 2D era Sonic's was always, up, down, so much, like, hidden stuff you could do.
Yeah.
Mario had a little bit of that, but never to that extreme.
Yeah.
Which, in my opinion, at least between Mario and Sonic, I definitely prefer Sonic. But even just between companies, as much as I like, Breath of the Wild, playing that for the first time, really liking the Zelda games, I'm starting to get into Metroid stuff. Mario's, fun and all. I still overall prefer Sega. Big part because Sonic, but then I also I've also played games like Altered Beast or Streets of Rage is another really big one for Sega. Streets of Rage 4 is one of my favorite side scrollers of all time, and that's a recent one. So. What about you, Alex? You didn't say a solid way or the other. So we have a Nintendo and a Sega. What's yours?
I don't know. I guess it just goes. Like, it's one of those things where it's like, if I happen to play a lot of games that happen to be on one particular console more than the other, then I'm like, okay, I want this. I played some Nintendo games and other Sega ones, like the Sonic Collection.
So you're kind of a middle ground. You don't really, lean one way or the other.
Yeah, I mean, I'll lean slightly towards Sonic more, because that was one that I, enjoyed the music and the mechanics to it, despite me being afraid of all the water levels. Getting excited. Dude, you want to know something funny though? Like, I saw a little TikTok where someone slowed down the music to where it looked like a old horror movie music, as someone's being murdered. That's what it sounded like, and it was the funniest thing. My mom couldn't even guess it either when I showed it to her.
Just hear the jaw seem.
Yeah.
To tell you how long I've been playing Nintendo and specifically Pokemon on Nintendo, I have the battle music down to heart. That's
me for Pokemon.
It's very iconic though.
Dun, dun, dun.
It's very iconic and it's reused in every game. It doesn't change. Kind of like Final Fantasy with its battle music. Those kind of themes.
Yeah.
Sorry. Dude, that's the same thing for me with the Pokemon Shield gym battle leader music.
I haven't played Shield. I've played Fire Red and now I'm playing
I didn't get Shield. I got Sword.
I play to get both of every set.
Well, still the same gym battles every time. That music was always just really good to play through.
The only one that I got both versions for was the most recent one, Scarlet and Violet.
Oh.
I'd like to point out we've titled an episode "We Can't Stop Talking About Pokemon,"
Oh,
and the only episode we don't talk about Pokemon is the episode we try not to talk about.
Dude, y'all were like literally, no joke, talking about it for like at least half an hour. Just
It was 45 minutes, I think, just on the Ash conversation, not including what happened after.
Yeah, and I'm just sitting there like, I don't know what else to say, so I'm just like,
Oh yeah, let's not get into another one.
It's like let's play the track record.
Yeah,
the
we'll
first
do.
and second one we kind of talk about starter stuff, and Squirtle's still best in my opinion.
No, he's not.
okay.
Those are fighting words.
But then we go on to episode 3, where we had that 45-minute long conversation, not even about the Pokemon, just about Ash in the anime,
Oh yeah, and Ash's like chemistry with all the other characters. So like,
which was a fairly constructive conversation for the two of us.
Yeah.
yeah.
Highlight 2 of us, but.
Yeah.
And then last episode, the one that Alex really doesn't want to talk about is the only one where we didn't talk about Pokemon. Here we are, 10 minutes in, talking about Pokemon. We can't escape.
It's even a running joke between you two of just like this Pokemon back and forth. It's like, Squirtle's the best. No, they're not. I'm like, bruh, okay.
Squirtle.
Squirtle.
Anyways, so I feel like we have a fairly even slate with me being Sega, Katrina being Nintendo, and you being kind of a middle ground.
Yeah.
I feel like it helps a bit that I did not grow up on Nintendo, so naturally Sega games being multi-platform, I played more of those growing up as well. That doesn't include Sonic. Sonic is not a childhood thing for me. It's only like a couple year thing.
Oh.
But when I really started to like Sonic, I really started to like Sonic.
I mean, yeah, some of the Sonic games are cool, dude. I still played Sonic and the Black Knight. It's an amazing game with great art.
Yeah, but like I said, we're even ignoring Sonic. There's still other games that I generally prefer over some of Nintendo's, and I'm sure once I play more Nintendo games, my mind will change.
Yeah.
But until my Nintendo experience like gets larger, like soon I'm gonna start playing Legend of Zelda: Link's Awakening, and I'm still working through Pokemon Violet. I hope to get Metroid Prime Remastered here soon.
Yeah, most of the games that I've played for Nintendo are the Pokemon games. I've played the Monster Hunter Stories games.
I wouldn't call
played-
Monster Hunter a Nintendo series though. That's a Capcom series.
Yeah.
It's also
And I've also
multi-platform.
played like Shadowverse.
Do
It's
you mean the mobile game?
That sounds familiar.
it's
I talk about the mobile card game.
I was about to make a Sonic joke like, I'm Shadow the Hedgehog.
well,
Chaos
they
Control.
have it on
Chaos
Nintendo
Swiss roll.
Switch. They have it on Nintendo
Yeah, they do.
Switch.
But it started as a mobile game.
Yeah.
Well, just because it's on Switch doesn't make it Nintendo. That's like saying, because Doom Eternal is on Switch, that makes it a Nintendo game.
Yeah,
Well,
but
no,
I
it's
didn't
not made by
play
that
it
same
when it was a
company.
mobile game. I played it when it came out.
Yeah, you have
on-
that experience on Nintendo Switch, and that's something you can associate with the Switch. But if we're talking like purely those companies' properties,
Yeah.
like clearly you still lean Nintendo, I still lean Sega, and Alex is a bit of a middle ground.
Yeah, most of the reason why I lean towards Nintendo is because I have a Nintendo account. So
Yeah, I didn't get my Switch until August, September.
I made an account on the official Pokemon page, and then that became having a Nintendo account.
I think it helps. Like you probably grew up with it. Alex definitely grew up with it, and I didn't. So therefore, that's a big factor for like me having a differing opinion. I still enjoy those games now, and I really, really, really love Smash Bros. And Breath of the Wild. And I'm starting to play more of the games. Just
Smash Bros.
I have my preference.
Okay. Well, we're on the topic of like the Breath of the Wild and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I am thinking of trying out and going into the Legend of Zelda games. So, what games would you guys recommend I start with?
You're asking the wrong people. I feel like Kane was the better option for this. Like we talked about this
Yeah, I know.
before. But
he recommended that I start with
Ocarina of Time,
uh,
which is not on Switch. Your options are very limited with just a Switch. Unless you want to either download online emulators or go buy GameCube or Nintendo.
I
64 somewhere.
have an emulator on my phone. I also have a DS.
DS opens yourself up a little bit more, but if you're personally, I would say Breath of the Wild just because it's a newer game and you don't really need to have any previous knowledge of it. Of the franchise to enjoy it. Like it's my first proper Zelda game and I really enjoyed it. I got everything. But Kane's saying Ocarina of Time, which by after that means you play Majora's Mask. So if you want to do emulation to do that, then yeah, Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask are the other two big ones.
Okay.
But if you want some proper for the system, Breath of the Wild.
Okay. So, thank you for that. Alex, do you have any suggestions?
To be honest, I haven't, besides Hyrule Warriors, yes, I know it's a spin-off, but
I'm not canon one at that.
other than that, I haven't actually played, any of the official Zelda games, so I'm not really in a position to give you any recommendations.
Next week I need to bring in my copy of Breath of the Wild for you to start playing.
Oh, God. All right.
Or maybe wait till after you're done with Undertale, and we'll get you to play Breath of the Wild.
All right.
All right, well,
Okay.
that topic did not last as long as we expected it to.
No, it did not.
Which brings, I could have thought of this on the spot now, so we start talking about video game soundtracks. Some we can kind of bring up and talk about some. Because you're not talking about Undertale being a very humble, memorable soundtrack, and one of the most so out there.
From what I've heard so far, it definitely is, because it has lots of smaller soundtracks that can also just be, really impacting,
And I can play a lot of those tracks on guitar.
Yeah, dude.
Well, I can play quite a few. I can play the main theme. I can play Memory, which is basically just a slowed down, higher pitch version of the main theme.
Okay.
I can kind of play his theme, which is another theme towards the game you have not heard yet. I could play little smaller, slower, minor key strings of Megalovania.
Oh, dude.
The kind not the kind of because that's way too fast and change strings. But I can play the minor key version where it's has a more somber tone. It's no, it's not.
Probably a more casual version of it, right?
Yeah, but for the easiest way to make it sound good, doing that the way it is in a minor tone, which, minor key, which changes the tone of the song, something upbeat or
Yeah, the minor key has a lot more.
I usually use minor key if you want to invoke either straight happy or straight sad emotion.
Yeah.
So what are some also Sonic you brought up, Sonic soundtracks?
Oh my God.
Maybe not some of the the stage tracks themselves, at least not since some of the early Genesis games, but title tracks and stuff like that. The main song I think of for Sonic isn't Green Hill Zone, which everyone seems to think of, but it's some Live and Learn from Sonic Adventure 2.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say different stage.
No.
Tracks.
When I think of one song to represent Sonic, actually it's not even that. It's His World from Sonic 06.
I haven't heard of that one, I'll be honest.
All right, hold on. I have to play this now. You guys go on and talk about soundtracks, but now I have to find His World.
If I had to talk about ones from stages, I don't know. I feel ones from the early Sega Genesis that I found impressive, were ones that are Flying Battery Zone, Green Hill Zone to an extent, Chemical Plant, also good, I feel like. Those are the only ones I actually remember, but they were still good. I mean, I know you don't play much of Sega, so that's...
No, I don't, but...
Oh, this. Okay.
This is my favorite Sonic track.
I'm surprised the mic could pick that up.
I'm probably gonna stop that now so we don't get DMCA, but
Don't get copyrighted, please.
Yeah,
But
we don't own that music, so do not copyright us, please.
Yeah.
Sega, please don't kill us.
Yes, please don't sue us. We aren't.
do me good.
But that's my.
We're broke college students.
It's
Spend most of my
everyone
money on weeb
gives
stuff.
everyone gives Sonic 06, but I think it was an alright game with a very, very good soundtrack.
I'll always say this. I feel like the plot for Sonic 06 was there. I just feel like they didn't.
They didn't do it right.
Yeah, if they rushed this, if they would have just taken the time to go through the plot again.
They
and make
rushed it
sure-
out for the holiday, and even then, some plot details weren't all there. Human girl, connecting lips with Sonic. That's not something that should ever be on the table.
Dude, if you're gonna do a video game and have people enjoy it, it's gotta at least be done right.
Yeah, and Sonic 06, I'll admit Sonic 06 wasn't that, but it also wasn't the complete trash pile people say it is either.
Well, that's what I'm saying. If they did a remaster of Sonic 06 and they kept the things that were good, but then, went through it again, we're okay, this needs to make sense, then I feel like it would have been like a better game.
Like if we're talking pure story, I brought up the Elise and Sonic thing is disgusting to me.
I'll admit, yeah.
But
if they like hugged, then that would have been a little bit better.
Yeah, no, but no, instead, just straight makeout session with Amy standing right there. It's like, that's insulting to Sonic fans. But ignoring that, I think the story, everything else was fine. I feel like it has some great lines. I think my favorite line from the game was from Shadow. And
it's no use.
Yes, Silver's "it's no use" will always be held in memory for the wrong reasons.
I love it.
But my
Snap
favorite
cube,
line
thank you for that one.
line in that game is from Shadow, and it's when he's talking to Mephiles, and Mephiles is like, "Oh, why would you protect a world that will persecute you later?" And then Shadow goes, "If the world chooses to become my enemy, then I'll continue to fight like I always have." And I'm like, that is a badass right there. That is a reason Shadow's a lot of people's favorite characters. Not mine, but he is up there.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have much to say about Shadow's character, but it's good.
Maria. Even that's gone now. We don't even have that. Shadow's not had character. Shadow's not had character progression since Sonic 06.
Oh my god.
And he's only been playable in Sonic Forces since then. And the DLC that did nothing for him.
They did him no
It's
justice.
his DLC. 3 levels, 3 very short levels where you play as Shadow, all just to set up Infinite. Nothing to do with Shadow himself.
I know. I like Shadow the Hedgehog more. He's cool.
Oh, we're gonna talk about Shadow the Hedgehog. The game.
What? Wait, there's a game for just Shadow the Hedgehog?
Yes. Yes, there is.
Look, I'm sorry. I'm oblivious. Okay, shut up.
It's like someone's DNA came from aliens. It's like he needs to recover his memory. Maria.
Oh. Well, I know, like, the backstory from Sonic Heroes.
And then there's a meme that comes from that game where it's like, where's that damn fourth Chaos Emerald?
Chaos Swiss roll. Sorry.
Anyways, I love the Sonic talk. We're gonna be here forever. It's gonna be repeat the Pokemon situation, but with me and Alex talking Sonic instead.
Yeah.
I mean, without much topics like that, there's no podcast.
Anyways, game soundtracks. We kind of trailed off after I mentioned His World. What are some other big soundtracks for you guys in games?
I don't really know the names of the specific ones, but there are...
Well, games with amazing soundtracks, not necessarily specific tracks.
Etrian Odyssey. Hands down.
Monster Hunter stories.
I've never played any of those.
I know you haven't, but I'm saying it anyway because there's going to be at least one
I
person
know.
who
Okay.
knows.
Like, I know you guys, other people recognize yours, so I'm saying, I can't have any input.
Alex.
Yes.
Genshin intro music.
That is a pretty soundtrack. I will agree with you. Don't you dare, Jesus Christ. I'm allowed to have opinions, Gage.
Until you've actually played it, you can't hate
I
it.
have! You know what? I have. I tried.
Have you played it for more than 5 seconds?
Yes, I played it for 10 minutes. You wanna know what I was? Bored.
I played it for 2 weeks.
That's sad.
No, it's not. Shut up. It's not sad.
You know, you made fun of me last episode calling me Genshin hater at the top of it, but you know what? Yes, Genshin hater. I do hate Genshin. You're right.
I feel like you should play it for more than 10 minutes to know you hate something.
What are you doing?
Katrina's literally going, shame.
Are you trying to point me to death with your laser hands?
Dude.
It's like Buzz Lightyear in Toy Story. Why won't the laser work?
For the people who are listening to this, since there is no video, I was doing the pointer finger and swiping the other finger on top of that. The shame.
For shame.
I don't understand that, so that's why I thought you were trying to point me to death like your syndrome from The Incredibles. You caught me monologuing.
Gage, whenever he talks about Genshin Impact, you caught me monologuing. Stop it now.
That's the only catch we got talking about Sonic or Star Wars.
Oh my god. Are you
Sly dog, you caught me monologuing.
Oh my god.
Any other soundtracks anyone would like to bring up?
Once again, I'll say Etrian Odyssey because, like, the way that they do their... No, just listen. I know you haven't played it, but just listen.
That's not that. Just talk.
Okay, hear me out. Like, for those who do know, it's like this orchestral kind of soundtrack. It sounds like it's been played by a full-on orchestra. It's some of the most pretty and calm music you're ever going to hear. You say as you're biting into a cookie.
I'm probably quiet.
Oh my gosh.
Oh yeah, quiet. One person talking about a game you don't know that you just immediately resort to eating a caramel cookie.
I tried to quietly eat the cookie. Did you stop talking and looked at me, and I felt nervous.
I'm sorry. It
was like something couldn't have performance anxiety. As soon as you turned to look at me, I stopped biting and like look at you.
It's like you're a squirrel.
man.
It's like a squirrel with like its
Like a
mouth
deer in
full.
headlights.
It's just like,
It's like deer in headlights. A fat kid starting to eat a cookie.
your eyes just like dilate
You see
backwards. just like,
nothing. As far as you're concerned, this is salad in my hands.
oh my god.
And
But yes,
Continue.
a really great orchestral sounding soundtrack. It even has like its own little playlist of like just the most calming and soothing tracks that you can hear, like for studying, for sleeping, or even just chilling out. It's wonderfully done. I love it. And once it comes out on the Switch, I'm really, really excited to play it because, you know, it's just gonna bring back a lot of nostalgic memories. And it's another DS game that they figured out a way to fit everything on one screen.
Kind of like with Phoenix Wright. We talked about that before, but Phoenix Wright got ported to new consoles, and it was a DS
yeah.
game.
Yeah.
Which we thought of that soundtrack too. Those are tracks that get stuck in your head too. With
Some of
Ace
those
Attorney.
are really good.
It's like for a game with almost no voice acting and music take up a lot of it.
Dude.
It really does get stuck in your head.
There's people on YouTube who literally just like have official dub.
I need you to play Ace Attorney so I can voice all the characters for you next time.
Bruh!
We have a list of games that I need to voice act for Alex.
We pretty much just play games like to wait a little bit before we do the podcast. I want to do Ace Attorney. That would be so awesome.
A little bit. We played Undertale for 6 hours.
No, I mean, okay, fair. But that's to be fair, that's when we started that one earlier because we didn't know what else to do and not many people showed up that day.
Nobody showed up to esports today.
So we were just like, oh, we gotta do something else.
Undertale. Oh my god.
Soundtracks. If I had to bring another one, I know neither of you would know this whatsoever, but Halo has my next favorite like gaming soundtrack overall.
Heard of Halo a lot, never played it, but I imagine the soundtrack is really good.
I mean, we can play if you want. I bring my Xbox every week. That's a hard no. Okay.
I'm not good at first-person shooters. I don't normally like.
set it to easy and carry you. I'm getting punched.
Absolutely not. I
Oh,
don't
yeah.
wish to be carried, I wish to sprint to my next objective.
Yeah,
can do
yeah, we weren't in the podcast when this happened earlier, but Alex was really close to hitting Gage over the head with her.
I think the only thing that stopped her was me saying we haven't got it on camera yet.
Yeah.
It's like I want to be recorded, so I have proof.
Yeah, she was gonna hit him over the head with her Switch.
With a Switch Lite, what's that gonna do? Snap?
I say it as a joke. I don't actually mean I'm gonna do it. Dude, if I meant to do it, I wouldn't even say it, okay? Like, it's one of those
She
things-
wouldn't give you warning.
Yeah, dude, you should know this about me. If I don't have, like, anything to say in the moment, that I'm feeling something, like, very, very genuine that I can't even have words for.
I'm gonna wake up the next day with a scar the shape of the D-pad.
Oh my god. Oh no.
Or she hits me at the back of it, and I on my forehead and imprinted just the word switch.
Or just like the ZLR trigger, just like on your forehead. It's like on the eyebrow. It's like ZLR, RLR.
Hey bro, what's a tattoo? It's not a tattoo.
Hey dude, those are some really unique birthday scars. Those are not scars, my dude.
Oh, those are scars, all right.
But not birthday ones, I'll tell you that.
Is that a red Joy-Con on your forehead? Oh no, you're just bleeding.
But yeah, you would be able to tell right away when I'm like genuinely mad if I like don't directly recover after that.
You're gonna not like me for bringing it back up, but Pokemon does have some pretty good.
we can't escape it.
Listen, if it does have a good soundtrack, it's still on the topic.
Yes,
Okay?
I know it has a good soundtrack.
Like,
but
dude, I talked about Etrian Odyssey like at least 3 times, but
we can't escape Pokemon.
No, we can't!
let's just say this entire
Pokemon is life!
Can we just like change the title on April Fools to just the Pokemon stream?
I mean, we're looking for streamer setups. I guess someone could stream Pokemon.
No, not stream, podcast. I'm sorry.
Well, still, if we get the stream set up, I'm sure Katrina will want to do Pokemon and only Pokemon.
Like
No, actually, when we get the stream set up, I want to stream Minecraft.
Oh, dude, I would love
There are
that.
a couple things I want to stream. Like Alex and I were talking about getting someone who hasn't played Undertale to sit down and have us do the voices for them.
Oh my god. Dude, that would be so fun, though.
I also was telling Alex about this game earlier, and I was gonna do the voices for after we do Undertale. Have you heard of a game called Coffee Talk?
No, I haven't actually.
It's a really pretty looking
such
game,
a fun
dude.
game. I've played through like 3 or 4 times. I love it.
Whoa.
So the premise is that you're in a world where basically like all fantasy creatures and like species are like living in the world, kind of like the movie Bright, if you've seen that with Will Smith. Where it's like a modern world with like fantasy species and all that, and like his partner is like an orc and he's a cop.
No, I haven't seen it.
All right, well it's basically that kind of concept, and you're playing as the owner of a nighttime coffee shop, and like all of your customers are like fantasy species. So like you have like the one human one, then you have 2 human ones. You're like a female writer, and then this cop, and then the first fantasy species you get are an elfin succubus or boyfriend and girlfriend, and then you get like a fish girl, a Neko pop star, kind of like Ari from League of Legends.
Bruh, yes.
What's the other one? It's an orc athlete chick.
Of course, the pop star is a Neko.
Yeah. There's more characters I'm blanking out right now. Oh, you get this alien in an astronaut suit.
Aliens.
Huh.
It's an alien that shows up as an astronaut. It's a shape-shifting one, but it takes the shape of an astronaut suit because it's only a human it saw before then.
Aliens.
Oh.
I'm spoiling Alex so bad, but I just like give everyone the idea of like how weird it, but it's also fun.
Yeah,
to be
it
fair,
does sound fun.
I'm not gonna remember this the next time we play it. Though,
Yeah,
so.
it's kind of I wouldn't say visual novel, but it's like your only gameplay element is you're speaking with all these people, and then you're like making drinks for them in between.
I like games like that though, where you can just like
I'd say
cook
that.
stuff for people. It's awesome.
I'd say that is more like a visual novel, like RPG.
I feel like visual novels is like more strictly dialogue choices. This at least has a little bit of element of like you're picking the drinks and like getting the people between them. And if you do the drinks right, you'll get like the best ending. But if you mess up the drinks, that can actually affect the outcome of the story because it can put people in like worse moods or stuff like that.
Oh my god, just like real
how
life.
difficult are the mechanics for making the drinks?
That's not like super complicated. You have like lens ingredients you mix together and that makes the cup.
Yeah.
It's like for example,
That sounds like one of the games that I would play to like relax.
I didn't think I like it. Like at first I played just for like the achievements because I play on Xbox, but then I like generally enjoyed it to the point where I played it 2 more times. So like, but yeah, if you do the drinks wrong, it'll have a different. It'll affect the outcome of the story. So like, your writer friend, who's like the first character you interact with, there's some points in the game where she'll like be like tired and insomniac because she's trying to work on her book, and she'll like ask for like extra caffeinated drinks. And so you can either give the extra caffeinated drink, which will work her bone dry, and it'll like get worse and worse for her down the road of the game. Or like you could give her a sleepy drink and make her pass out and get genuine sleep, so she'll like work better later, and then that'll like work towards the better ending for her character arc and all that.
Oh, so you have to decide whether they actually.
Yeah, like
You have to.
sometimes you'll just genuine
figure
orders.
out-
Sometimes you just have genuine drink orders. If you mess it up, that can mess up the situation. But you
Yeah.
also have to like choices to make sometimes of like what to make if someone's requesting something if they're in a bad state or something like that.
So you have to kind of get a read on them.
Kind of like sometimes they'll just tell you directly what they want, or sometimes they'll like give you something that's sweet and bitter, and you have to figure it out from there. It's a real fun game.
Yeah, it sounds like it's fun.
Obviously, we played with Alex. I'm probably gonna give her I'm probably gonna pull up a guide or something just so she can experience like the good ending of the game. But because doing it genuine, it could take a long time, or you could really need multiple playthroughs. Because if you mess up, you mess up.
Yeah.
All right.
But it's a real fun like calm game. It's a good story, and I really enjoyed it.
Nice.
Okay, you'll have to let me play through it too sometime.
It depends how early you show up at the lab next time.
Okay.
That wasn't
yeah,
really
I
her
know.
fault though.
It wasn't. But
Yeah, I had some stuff that I needed to
I was
do.
gonna install for Alex today. Then I was like, yeah, let's finish Undertale first.
Yeah.
Let's at least finish a playthrough of Undertale first. Get it through contact, maybe come back.
I'm not doing genocide route.
Why?
I'm a freaking coward. What do you mean?
Yeah, but then I get to do the Sandspots fight.
No.
It's a beautiful day outside.
No.
Kids singing, flowers blooming.
No.
Get dunked on!
No. I'm not doing that. If you want to do it, then do it yourself. I'm not doing it.
You afraid, kid?
Yeah, I'm afraid.
No, I don't bleep that out.
You're gonna have to bleep that out.
I didn't know that.
That's one of the ones you're gonna.
Yeah,
need
no.
to bleep.
All right, but
It's like Sans just gets like
I
cut out
have
of
a
existence.
censor beat. You don't need to do that.
It's like Sans gets cut out of existence.
Come on, you coward. Sans, don't call the human a coward. He's a coward.
I can't do it.
Alright, we're just gonna start screaming at the mics now at this point.
Next topic.
I kind of want to save from the Smash Bros thing from another day, so I guess we're moving on. So I may take up the next 2/3 of our podcast because we kind of average out to an hour and a half at this point.
We can just do like an hour this time.
Who likes some horror stories?
I do.
Evan.
As long as they don't have any too good of a visual to go with it.
Well, that's great. That's the reason why those creepypastas have pictures, don't they?
I kind of have a weird horse.
I mean,
Like, I want you to go to it. I don't know if you know this one. Pull out your phone. Look at the word "smile dog."
oh yeah, I know
I've
Smile
heard of that
Dog.
one. Oh god, nope.
I was hoping to really get you.
No,
Dude.
you won't get me.
I have a weird.
I know. I know pretty much most of them. So
Just for the record, I'm not looking anything up on my phone because then I know I'm not going to sleep tonight.
I do kind of have like a weird horror story that happened to me like in the summer. at some point.
Let's hear our personal horror stories first before we go on to the other stuff. Alex, take the show. Go. Cookie time for me. Well, it's story time and cookie time.
Okay, so
cookie story time.
cookie story time. That should have been a new podcast. Okay. So there was a time where I stayed like a week at my grandma's house, like just myself, because sometimes, you know, I had to like take a break from at home or have a change of scenery. So every night, it's what?
It's not you, it's him.
Oh God! All right, I'm just gonna pretend nothing's happening, so you get your
Yes.
cookie anyway.
Yes, that's the best thing you can do.
Like, there were a couple of small things that, like, happened that progressively, like, made me more scared of sleeping by myself in the dark. Because my grandma's house was, I should say, bigger than my mom's house. Because it even had, like, an upstairs and, like a giant basement, you know, because mine is one level. Anyways, the first thing that happened was, like, because, well, oh, shoot. I saw a mouse, okay? I got scared of a tiny mouse. I thought it, because it's, like, crawled between a couch and underneath a coffee table. Not coffee table, what? It was...
A gripping horror story of Mickey Mouse terrifying you.
It's not the whole thing! I'm sorry, my brain is just, like...
What's up, mouse?
He just comes out of the shadows like, I've come to haunt your nightmares. I'm Mickey Mouse, buy my merch. We're not sponsored by Mickey Mouse, by the way.
or Disney.
I said, you mean Disney?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, we're not sponsored by Disney, so please don't come at us.
Back to the mere mention, Disney's gonna kill us.
The point is, like...
Yeah, Disney, we don't sue us. We don't have any money to give you. We don't have any money that we could give you.
The point is, like, at the last night that I was staying there, I thought for, like, at least 2 or 3 hours that someone broke into our house because I kept hearing noises in the kitchen. So, at 5 a.m., I stayed up until 5 a.m., I finally get up, go inside the kitchen, and I see my grandma standing there, and in my brain, I was just, like, relieved, but at the same time embarrassed, because I had tears streaking down my face. I'm not used to sleeping in a large house. Because, you know, apparently the house just, like, randomly creaks and everything. It's scary. It's just... God. Like, have you ever slept in a creepy house like that? Someone at night?
Yes.
Okay, tell me then.
No.
Any house I lived in. I'm a bitch, okay? I'm a scared bitch, okay? I can enjoy horror. I cannot handle it for the life of me afterwards.
Exactly.
Because my imagination goes too wild.
That's why I can't watch anything that's like horror based at night.
Yesterday, the entire day, I watched there's a YouTube channel called Mr. Nightmare, which talks about like horror stories or like supernatural experiences. Like in a bunch of them that day in particular, I was watching about either like ring camera videos, so, like people like trying to get people's houses, or straight up home break-in horror stories. As soon as I finished the last video of the day, knocking on the door, my dog starts barking. It's my parents trying to get in the house, but I had a heart attack. I freaked the hell out because like as soon as the video ended, it's like you never know who could try to get in your home. And my dog starts barking.
Timing.
My heart was in my throat. Okay.
Timing.
It sucked.
That's horrific.
That was
And
not
here's
fun.
me having not dealt with anything like that because
Feel very lucky then because those are horrifying moments.
in one of my houses, I literally every time I had to go down to the basement to do laundry, there was this dead mouse in the corner, so
Oh my
I just
God.
got used to it, and because the basement was like below like sort of underground, we had the window wells, and we'd have like snakes, spiders fall in the window wells. We've had black widows fall in there.
Oh my God, no. I hate spiders.
We had like a milk snake. We had to call somebody to come and get it out of our window.
Oh my God. I just...
So yeah, and growing up, my mom made me the designated person to take the bugs out of the house. So I grew up not being afraid of bugs because I'm the person who has to take care of them.
You've grown numb to it.
Do you have an idea of how scared I was as a kid and still kind of how scared I am now? Not necessarily of like movies or all that. When I was younger, I was terrified of Jurassic Park. And that's like baby stuff for horror.
Yeah, to tell you just how not scared I am of these like creepy crawlies, I've been in a situation where somebody caught a wild grass snake, and they were like, "You want to try and hold it?" And I was like, "Yeah, show me how." And then somebody, when I was in band in high school, we were at like CSUP, and it was like a band day. Our high school went over there, and somebody was going around. They had like a tarantula in their, I think it was a tarantula spider in their hand, and they were going around the people saying, "You want to touch it? You want to touch it?" And everyone else in the band was like, "No, thank you."
I wouldn't want to
And
touch
I
a
was like,
tarantula.
"Yes, please.
I bet
Let me
everyone
touch
was,
it."
I bet everyone else was like, how are you doing this?
So yeah, I'm kind of desensitized to that, but I still don't like when they crawl over me. So
Dude, okay, can I just say, if we ever end up in a horror situation that has to do with like mutated bugs, I'm gonna instantly turn to you first.
Honestly, I feel like out of all the horror stories, that's the least one that we're gonna like run into, like something like that.
Well, you never know what's gonna happen, whether it's like mutated bugs or aliens or space. Even though those are both a part of the same category, but I don't care. Raven killers.
yeah, and I also got really into watching other people play horror games when I was in high school. So
Oh yeah, like watching someone else do it isn't as bad. I think
Yeah.
horror stuff in general isn't as bad when you're watching like playthroughs or reaction videos because it feels like if someone else is there with you, that's at least a little bit. Alright, and,
yeah.
Like Corey Kenshin.
and then the video ends,
The video ends.
and then you don't have that sense anymore, especially when you are home by yourself.
And you
I
just-
mean,
you just hear someone,
not
like, trying to break in,
really.
You're just like, oh my god, no.
Because when I was in high school, I had to walk home, so I was completely fine.
I used to like be able to like walk around at night, no problem, and then I start reading, listening to these kind of stories. I'm like, I'm not going outside at night anymore.
Yeah, the
would
most
you
issues
do
that I had
that?
with walking home was because I lived on a block where there were houses that had dogs. And there was usually like this chihuahua who thought he was this big bad, and I was used to him. All I did was I bring out my water bottle with water and I'd flick the water at him and he'd stay away and I'd be able to get past that house just fine. But this day, somebody had, I think it was like a German Shepherd or something, and it was not on a leash, and it started barking at me
Oh my
like
god, I hate those so much.
angrily. Like it was, and it was like, it was coming towards me and it was barking like almost aggressively, and I knew immediately I had to back off. I didn't turn my back to it. I just kept on backing off. And that was scary.
Dude.
Because like one of the people on my block had to come and run and like take the dog because they apparently knew the dog, and they had to, yeah, so that was not fun.
I can count like at least 2 times where a giant dog like is either already in the yard like 4 houses away and it like immediately run towards me, or another dog just like straight up runs outside of the house and just like comes after me across the street.
That was my first ever bad experience with a dog.
Oh my god. I've
So-
only had like 1 good experience with a dog running like that at me.
Yeah. So normal stuff that scare people don't really scare me, but it's like the supernatural stuff that sometimes gets me.
I don't think I've ever experienced anything supernatural that I can think of. Because everything that I, like, got scared of was, was explained by something, whether I saw it right away or not.
Yeah.
Which kind of begs the question: do you guys actually believe in supernatural stuff or anything like that? Like ghosts or like other creatures that we don't
I
understand?
don't believe in ghosts. I do believe that there are spirits, though.
Yeah, same.
What is your definition between the two? Like, what's the difference for you?
I don't believe that there are these ghosts who have unfinished business and decided to stay here on Earth, because why would they want to stay here?
I don't
Of
know.
all places that they could go to, why would they want to stay here?
Because of unfinished business, like regrets in life. That's kind of like the general story. I believe in both.
I don't believe that.
I believe in both definitions. Like, both ways you're defining it, I believe in both.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I believe in-
I don't believe in that, but I do believe in like spirits, like guardian angels and stuff like that.
I can kind of believe in stuff like that because Andrew's not here to tell it, so I'll tell it for him. I kind of wanted him on an episode like this, but I don't think he's ever going to get the chance to. We were talking about this before. I think like 2 days before we recorded the first podcast, Andrew and I were talking. He talked about how long time ago, his girlfriend, who's now his wife, we're driving somewhere between St. Louis and somewhere else. I'm forgetting to do the story. He can probably retell it on his own whenever he gets here. He talked about how his truck broke down in the middle of the road, like at this long abandoned road, and out of nowhere, this old man in a truck comes, pulls him up, and is like, how you doing? It's like, you guys okay? And they say, yeah, our engine died. Dude goes, yeah, a lot of people have that out here. Apparently, so hop in. I'll get you a ride, and we'll get some parts to fix your car. And so, throughout the entire time, Andrew said he never told this guy his name, where he was from, any of that, what he was there for. Dude just knew. He talked about how, how's baseball and all that? Andrew never brought the fact that he was playing baseball. And I'm trying to remember everything Andrew said. Like I said, he'll probably tell it better on his own story if we ever get him back on. But they go to the car, they go get the parts of this dude, come back. Dude's getting all these details about his life correct that he never brought up. I don't think he ever even told the guy his name, and he knew his name was Andrew.
Yeah.
But they get to the truck, start fixing it up. Andrew's in the front seat trying to start pop the hood so they can fix the engine or whatever was broken. Old man standing next to his girlfriend there, and his truck's parked like 30 feet down the road. Andrew gets out of the driver's seat, looks to the side. Guy in the truck are gone. Girlfriend didn't notice the guy leave. They would have noticed the truck turn on and leave if it was there. But Andrew said everything just gone.
Yeah, the reason
Dude, what?
why I believe in that is because my mom and I have both had experiences where we've gotten out of a situation we didn't think we were going to get out of. So my mom was driving down the street in her car, and she was like at a stoplight area, and she was driving, and there was this car that was coming from like the side, and she could swear that it was like the car almost warped around her car to avoid being hit. And she's like, that was like a guardian angel moment. Somebody actually moved the car so that it wouldn't hit mine. She thought it was gonna hit, but it moved around the front of her car to avoid it. So
Like just near death kind of thing.
yeah, and my experience was I was walking home from high school, and I was crossing the crosswalk right in front of the school, like directly right in front of the school. It was the road that leads to that pull-in area, that like drive-through area where you can pick up the people from the high school. So I was crossing there were no cars. I couldn't see any cars that would be coming. So I decided to just run across. While I was running across, this car comes speeding towards me. I swear I was gonna be hit by that car. But I somehow, like, from one moment to the next, I am somehow on the other side, and the car just clipped my heel.
And
Like,
how far along? We're
Jeez,
like directly in the middle.
I was directly in the middle of...
Then I feel like that. I still like believe in those kind of things, but I feel like that case in particular could have just been, in the moment, like adrenaline, like you just got out of the way, just got clipped, and you couldn't process it until after you were like out of the way. Like,
Yeah.
like pure adrenaline. Like, no, I still believe in those kind of things. I'm not just
No, like, I have a complete blank of that time in between.
that can happen with like adrenaline rushes. Like it'll like blood will rush to your brain and throughout the rest of your body, and like memory will lapse in that time through like certain adrenaline rushes. That's why sometimes I'm a tunnel. That's what some people explain as tunnel vision. It's like you'll focus on one thing and in an adrenaline rush, get there, and then that's when things process. I'm not saying like those things. Like I said, I entirely believe in all these kinds of spirits and all of that. I'm just saying that case in particular can easily be explained.
Yeah, it could, but I believe it was a guardian angel that helped me get to the other side.
So if we're gonna stick to the horror side of all this, do you guys know a YouTube channel called Mr. Nightmare?
I
No.
do not
So
know.
what he does, and I discovered his stuff a couple days ago, and I was watching all these videos, which I probably shouldn't watch again because I'm not gonna sleep tonight. But you know what? Content. So I'm gonna play these. I'll pick one video and play these stories one at a time.
I've seen those types of videos before, though. I haven't watched that channel in particular, but I've seen videos like that.
Yeah, I'm just gonna play these for just for the sake of the tone of the podcast, and even for Alex, who I assume hasn't watched this.
Isn't this gonna be like copyright if we play this though?
I don't think so. Like I'm like videos like this we like play. That's why I was trying to look for ones to read, and I couldn't find any. Wait, if I can find ones to
I
read.
mean, we could just do it on... We can just focus on, like, the creepypasta stuff.
I was thinking that, but then I realized we could type with the popular ones, and they kind of maybe run dry. But I feel like we also talk about like first person cases, not necessarily like just those stories. And I just said stories like a lisp. if we just focus on those, then I feel like we can kind of just poke fun at it as like internet horror. I feel like if we bring up these kinds of accounts, we can really be like, okay, this is like these are experiences.
Yeah.
That's what I was doing this whole time. I was trying to like find ones to read, but I just couldn't find them, like ones for me to read off. So like like some of these really messed me up yesterday when I was watching them, and going through them again. It's like, God, it's like so creepy. You okay, Alex?
Yeah, I'm good. The lightheadedness is getting me to focus. I'm sorry. I can't.
We'll probably cut this one shorter today, after like a few more minutes. But surprised an hour has already passed. But let me see if I can.
What time is it?
It's 3:47. So like we haven't been here very long at all. But let's see how far we can push this. If I can actually find some of these to read off.
Yeah, I was thinking that we could like discuss the most popular stories of the creepypasta.
Have you ever just felt lightheaded to the point where you're just like walking like a zombie through your house?
Yes, because I don't get sick often enough to build up a tolerance for the feeling of being sick. So things like small colds and stuff, they'll hit me harder.
Like, dude, I don't know what I ate last night, but whatever it was, like, in the middle of the night, I just woke up, right? And my stomach was hurting, like, I had to go do something about it. So I go to the bathroom, I, like, stand up, I open the door to leave, and I kid you not, I swear to God, I felt like a zombie in that moment, because, like, my body felt so freaking heavy, and I have, like, a bunk bed, so climbing up a ladder wall like this is even worse.
Yeah.
Like, I actually got scared to where I woke up the next day.
I get that.
And I was like, dude, that was, like... Because I felt lightheaded like this a couple of other times, but it wasn't as bad as this.
I get that because I used to have epilepsy. I'm officially epilepsy free now, thankfully.
So... would the experience I have be considered epilepsy?
No, it's just epilepsy. When I had epilepsy, I also had multiple different symptoms.
Okay.
So, like, stuff like diplopia and Alice in Wonderland syndrome, stuff like that, were all, like, symptoms of my epilepsy.
Okay.
So, because when you have epilepsy, it's because your brain is misfiring these electrical signals.
Okay.
So it triggers an epileptic episode. So I've been through that, and also recently after being told that I'm free of epilepsy, I went to the state fair, and somebody must have given me something because I had to leave the state fair because my throat got so dry and to the point where it was painful, and it happened so fast that whenever I would cough, it would, like, I would double over in pain.
Oh my God, dude!
So you think someone like slipped something in like one of your drinks or things at the fair?
I don't know. I think maybe somebody came to the fair with a bug or something, and it spread to me or something.
Which I feel like that first one's scarier when you think about someone just randomly slipping stuff in drinks or anything like that.
There's like posts on Tumblr even where there's like a visual of like signs that your drinks have been tampered with, and like what the drink will look like if like ice cubes are like a certain way or something. That's
one thing I feel like is like you can have all these like supernatural stories about monsters or spirits and all that, but I think the scariest ones are just with normal people, like real people.
The scariest ones are just
because you realize that can happen. So you can speculate.
Yeah.
But then you have ones like people slipping things in drinks or being kidnapped or stuff like that. And it's like,
Yeah.
that's scarier than the supernatural stuff.
Yeah, like,
Yeah.
Because you realize that's real people doing that because people are sick in the head.
yeah. Like, those are the real monsters. We talk about all this stuff, but those are the real monsters right
It's
there.
like I'm gonna like bring two stories I heard yesterday. To like give the comparison of like how scary one is to the other.
Got it.
First one is there was this dude going out in the forest recording himself to go find some kind of creature in the forest. I forget its name, but I'd like to point out that this video, any footage that was shown in the video that I watched, he didn't turn in because he was gone. Someone found his campsite and found his footage in his camera in his tent, and it was footage. I believe the last of the footage was like him like shining light through his tent and seeing the silhouette. And normally that's the kind of BS. It's like, okay, that's a bit much. It could be real, but that's something very easy to fake. But then it's the fact that he was missing after that. The footage stopped. He was missing and taken, and all of his stuff was left there. His car, his tent, his gear, all of it. And that's something that can like genuinely like scare you about being in like the woods or something like that alone.
But, like, if the only thing that's left was the camera, and that's the only thing there, then...
Well, his car and campsite, all that, like that was untouched and left.
Yeah,
he was gone.
I've watched.
good point.
I watched this video where it was like people telling about an experience where they narrowly avoided death or something. Someone said that they ended up getting meeting this person, and I don't remember everything, but they got in the car with this person and they got this bad feeling telling them that they need to get out of that car. And so the car, I don't believe it was stopped, maybe it was slowed, but they opened the door and ran out, and it turned out that the person who they ran out of the car from ended up being a serial killer. And they said, there was this one person who ended up getting away, and because of that, I ended up locking the doors from then on because of them. So they narrowly avoided being a victim of a serial killer.
Which brings me to my second story I was bringing up about the real person and like what is very clearly real. And there are a lot of these I could tell. I chose this one just because it's not as directly scary as it is creepy and disturbing. So it was on a Halloween night. This woman had finished like giving out candy to all the kids and all that, and not a lot came into her door, but she did all that. And then, like way after dark, where there's no more trick or treaters, this grown man comes up to the door in a mask, like saying trick or treat, all that. And she's just a special needs person like who got out but still want to go trick or treat or something like that.
Yeah.
And so she gave him, that was weird, but she gave him the candy, all that, have a good night, all that, all good. The day after, November 1st, so that night comes back with the same mask, and she pointed out in the first night it was a completely empty bag on Halloween. Next night comes back with the same empty bag coming back on trick or treat, and then it's like, okay, it's not Halloween, man. You need to go and like go find whoever your handler is or something like that. She goes upstairs, ignores them, starts watching TV. Dude starts throwing rocks at her window, and it's like just trying to get her attention or like break in or whatever. And so she looks down, he's standing there like at the bushes, trick or treat. And it just kept like messing with this woman, so she called the cops on him. She gave him a warning. He still stood there, called the cops on him. They took him, arrested him, but because he wasn't really doing much, they let him go. 2 weeks later, he comes back again, trick or treat, says no, starts throwing rocks at the window, and calls cops again. Takes him. They let him out again, which shows the ineptitude of cops in most of the country. And Pueblo, we know they don't do anything here, but in a lot of the country, they seem not to care. And then they arrest him again, and then right after they let him out, he goes back again, and he keeps going back and back to like disturb this woman. And this time when she called the cops, he took it and left, and then never came back as the time of like the story was put up. But that one's not as much a scary one. I could probably find like an actual scary one. That's just like one of those disturbing ones where it's like freaks like that exist. That either don't have the mental ability to understand like what they're doing is wrong or creepy or disturbing, or the people who are just so messed up in the head they don't care.
Yeah.
And like I'm sure if I thought about it for a second, there'd be more ones I thought above. But
I feel like that's why so many of those creepypastas got so popular and why they're so scary is because they're the person who the creepypasta is about is an actual person.
not always, but yeah, I get what you mean.
Well, like Tiki Toby, Jeff the Killer, stuff like that.
Yeah, it's like you can speculate that those are real people.
Yeah.
But in the stories themselves, they're probably not real. They could be. You never know. You really don't. I mean, there was that murder case of like 2 girls like really getting to Slenderman, and then when they were convinced that Slenderman was telling them to kill this other girl, and so they killed this other girl. And it ended up in a court case, and that's probably one of the first things that made like the creepypasta and like internet horror stories and the map like that is like these were really affecting people, and these were just the made up stuff. These aren't the real horrors you see or hear about. This is like more on that supernatural side.
Yeah, I have to say the ones that I find the most interest in are the ones that are about like games, like all these like the one about Ben Drowned and Majora's Mask and the ones about the Pokepastas.
Yeah, stuff like that freaks me out because like I believe in like the spirit thing, so that those objects could very well be haunted and all that. Those ones really freak me out. Like Slenderman and all that scares me. I really don't mess with Slenderman anymore. Like, I try not to think about it. Thanks, guys, or thanks, Katrina. I really try not to think about Slenderman anymore because that freaked me out for a long, long time. But
I didn't even know Slenderman existed up until
stuff like Lost Silver and stuff like that.
I don't know what that is.
You don't know about Lost Silver?
No.
It's a Pokemon creepypasta.
Oh, that explains why I don't know it. I also feel like stories like that have kind of like not been taken as seriously anymore because you have the fandoms of that kind of stuff where it's like, let's make
here's the thing. It is based off of you can actually play the game on, it's a fan-made game, and it goes through the story of Silver, who, Red ends up killing himself, and, because of that, the main character of the, like, I believe it's the Heart Gold or Soul Silver games, or it might just be the Gold and Silver games. It's black and white, so I think it's not the Heart Gold and Soul Silver ones. But the main character goes through, and it's like a normal game until you get to it starts getting these glitches, like the name of the Pokemon glitches out and stuff like that, like the names of the Pokemons spell out something, and then you try and use the Pokemon to fight, and then it becomes these unknown. Your Pokemon get replaced by unknown, and it just goes more and more, and eventually your game sprite gets like all these glitches, like he loses his hands, and I believe he becomes armless, and it's just really, really interesting. You need to watch it.
I really try not to watch. I'm surprised I watched as many videos as I did yesterday, but even with like real life horror stories, creepypastas are the ones where it's like the more you think about it, the more it really messes you up. But I think we'll leave the horror topic for another day because I think we'll have to end this one early. Alex is kind of feeling queasy, so we're gonna give her a break. And so this has been episode 5 of Achievement Unlocked. Not as hectic as last week, to say the least. I think we're starting to see
a lot more calm.
A lot more calm for a few reasons.
Sanity has been recovered.
Sanity's been recovered. No turbans placed on the mic here in his place. He'll probably be angry about that. So
Queasy people going into the studio. Why? I don't know.
So shorter as this has been, still longer than our episode 1, but shorter this has been as the others. This has been episode 5 of Achievement Unlocked. Joining me today has been Katrina and Alex.
Goodbye.
And this has been your host, Gage Baker. I'm gonna make sure Alex is okay. Okay, Alex.
Okay. I don't feel okay. I can't keep my head up. Why are you still recording?
Have a good night, people.
Okay, bye.